Okay. So our situation now as like the company is being owned by Temasek and all these things, it is in a way unavoidable lah, because we have such a history. Being the infrastructural company like Singtel, all these things, or Singapore Power, he has to be sub by the government, because without which who can start? Even in the presence of capital, you cannot start. Right? That was the issue lah. But you must give Singapore government credit. Even in spite of all that, they still try to be as fair as well. M1 also kena fine, right? Star also kena fine, right? You Singtel also kena fine. Although we know it's left pocket, right pocket. But having fined them is better than not having fined them. You make a mistake, fine. Although like, I think the fine on MRT was how big? 1 million. 1 million is small change to them lah. 1 million, correct lah. But it's still in a way from the management of SMRT is concerned. Hey, it's a black mark, you cannot fine, so you had to answer to shareholders, so that was then. Anyway, we have no more guests coming, right? Okay, so okay, just I do a brief introduction already. So actually, of course, just now as I was saying, there are over 100 overgrants in Singapore. Okay, I have applied for about 10 to 20 of them now. I won't say I applied 160 because it's like,
yeah,
even over the last 10 years, it's quite impossible to apply over 160. You focus on a bit, but generally the pattern is about the same lah. You know, fill out form and things like that. But today I only focus on one grant. It's from IRAS. Okay, most of the grant system in Singapore, they are actually quite mature. When I say mature, means that more than 10 years. And some of the grants are as old as 30 years. It's just that most people do not know about them because last time the grant was given for a bigger company lah. Because 30 years back, the major driving force of the economy was like manufacturing industry. Like they asked people to invest and they set up factories here, you know, like sewing factory and rubber factory and all these things. So I think a lot of grants are given to those companies because they generate a lot of jobs. Okay, but of course in the last 10 years, we know that there's a big shift from manufacturing. I mean, manufacturing is practically non-existent in Singapore already. There are still some, you know, because among my clients there's still some. I would say it's not really a big sector. The biggest sector now is more like service. Service can be in IT, can be web design company, you know, things like that, or can be financial industry lah. So general service just service company. So last of the year there are a lot of grants. So today I'm just going to focus on one grant only lah, instead of focusing on so many grants. Okay, this grant is very young as compared to other grants. It's like this one is about 2 years old. It's considered a baby grant. Baby financial scheme. This is too young already. As a result of being too young, a lot of people don't know about it lah. Basically the scheme. Okay, to tell you a bit of history. The time when it was announced and launched was about 2 years back in the budget of 2010. So the time the finance minister when he announced it, the main driving force was to increase the salary of Singaporean in a sustainable manner. Okay, because our Singapore government is not exactly for the minimum wage system. You know, whenever I mean, it was just 2 years back that we have a general election, right? 1 or 2 years back. So whenever general election, what is the favorite topic? What's the favorite topic?
Inflation, expensive.
Okay, before that, there's something even more famous than that, more popular. Minister pay. 1 point something million. Prime Minister 4 million, you know. They always talk about this kind of thing and then they will compare to the other extreme which is the, you know, in the coffee shop, those old auntie, they still go to work and they probably earn about $700-800. No, $700. They always compare these two extremes, which is quite ridiculous because, you know. And of course, you know, our government is not ready for minimum wage system. Because you imagine, let's say if I own a coffee shop, I hire 3 aunties. Let's say I pay them $1,000. Then now the law says that, Raymond, as a coffee shop owner, you must pay them $1,500. Then what will happen?
You will reduce one of them.
Yeah, I will retrench one of them. Because I cannot afford. I will retrench on them. And then of course, or the other alternative is that I increase the price of my coffee lah. So instead of $1, let's say assuming at a stone throw, there's a coffee shop selling at $1. Then I sell $2. Will you come and buy from me? I'll put more sugar for you. Basically, you won't buy from me lah, huh? Okay, so it becomes anti-competitive eventually, because when you implement the minimum wage system, actually you think logically lah. Actually, who is paying the salary increase? The consumer lah.
Yeah.
The consumer is paying lah. The people, the country is paying lah. So the minimum wage system to me is not a competitive way lah. To me, I think that people who are always suggesting that, they have good intention, but the road to hell is often paved with good intentions. Because if you implement that, actually more people will suffer. One person will be retrenched, and then the 2% left, they will need to do more job. Right? Without proper understanding, that's what you create. Right? So I mean, you see on the news, there's always a lot of good intention people. I respect them, you know. But that won't solve the problem. You cannot solve this problem by using good intention. Good intention is a start. Only. Then you must understand how the economy works. You must understand how the economy works. If not, you will just like on, and there's nothing much to change. Let me check the camera whether it's still recording. Yeah, it's still recording. Yeah. So the only sustainable way to improve the livelihood of people is to increase the productivity of people. For example, let's say if my coffee shop, let's say I sell 200 cups every day. Now instead of 200 cups, I sell 400 cups every day, and it's served by the three auntie. Can I increase the pay to 1,500?
Yeah.
I can. Okay. So therefore, as a result, improving my marketing will help to improve the livelihood of my people under me, right? So therefore, as a result, so for them to do that, probably there are some training involved, there are some technology involved. So that's what the grant will give lah. No? Then you understand the rationale of the grant. And of course, running a coffee shop, probably it may be good to have a POS system. Point of sale system, computer system, they help you to automate the accounting, and then day end closing, you don't spend so much time. Yeah. I mean, last time before the POS system, I remember there was a time when people just stay back 1-2 hours just to count the money and to ensure the sums are right. I mean, with the POS system, probably that time will be reduced. The time will be reduced to very minimal. Okay, so these are the things that can get grant for, and the PSE is proposed as a method to improve that manner, so that in the sense that improving the productivity of a company helps you very directly to improve the livelihood of people. Because once the company get more profit, they can pay more salary. Correct? Hey, come, take a seat. Okay, so the PIC, this is the scheme that was launched 2 years back. So it is a tax incentive to reward investment in productivity and innovation. Okay, so like productive innovation in the sense that the things that help, in my example, how a coffee shop to improve its productivity. Okay, in which case means that I can improve the livelihood of the people working for me as a coffee shop owner. Okay, of course I'm using coffee shop as an example, but you must understand this example applies to every industry. Even if you are IT service company, web design company, a sales training company, it's all the same. Helping you to increase the productivity, help you to improve the people working with you or under you. Okay, so 2 years back, okay, so basically this scheme allows you to get back as much as 60,000 in cash payout, or in a case where you pay a lot of taxes, then they allow you to get back tax. Okay, So when you get back money for improving productivity, so in the sense that you are encouraged to be productive. Okay. These are some of our clients. Okay. Okay, I show you this number of clients. It's not to show you that a lot of clients. It's to show you that actually a lot of industry can get grant. Because a lot of my clients ask me, Raymond, actually my industry not like you get grant. I say, why? I mean, what's wrong with your industry? I mean, as long as you are doing something to modernize your business, you can get a grant. Okay. I always like to give this example. Like let's say, I have a client that actually sells a product in which eventually all of us will have to use it. It's called the coffin. Eventually we will have to use it. Of course, make it as not so soon. Better not so soon, as late as possible. So as a result of that, so I mean, people ask me, what does this company want to get grant for? I mean, how can we make them more productive? So one of the grants I got for them was to build a customer relationship management system. Customer relationship management is not to manage the relationship with the person inside the coffin, but his relatives, And then, of course, sometimes customer CRM system will of course manage customer feedback. Customer feedback is not from the person in the coffin; it's from the living. And then as a result, some of my clients actually when they're in coffin business, you know what they have to learn? They have to learn makeup. Makeup for the date Okay, to the makeup. And then of course the making up for the date doesn't mean you know how to make up for the living. You know how to make up for the date. It's two different kinds of skill set. You agree with me? Because as you know, if you make up for the date, there's no feedback. There's no feedback mechanism. They say didn't draw here. There's no feedback mechanism. So it's a bit different. And of course the date, of course, the skin texture is cold, and then it's probably not as flexible or things. It may also make it different for them also. But as a general rule of thumb, I think it's pretty simple. Simpler than making up for the living, because living will complain. Okay, so there are a lot of things that they do. Of course, these are the things they can get a grant for. So if a coffee business can get grant, I can't imagine any other business cannot get grant. But of course, you tell me that the coffee business, they just do traditionally. They continue to sell coffee, and then they don't have an inventory system to keep track of their coffee. Of course, you cannot get what do you do that warrants a grant? You didn't do anything that warrants a grant. Correct?
Yeah.
Like even nowadays, I was told that nowadays, the funeral, usually in the front they will put your photograph. They give them a small one, they scan in high res, and they print out a big one. So they actually use high tech in their service also. High tech. They have to use scanner, all these things. So scanner, no need to say also can get grant. IT equipment generally can get grant. So these are my clients. So they are from different sizes, different pattern, different kind of industry. Event management, Korea company. This is a big one. I think they were Korea you heard before. IT company. They just got back $60,000. Food catering. Many other companies. So these are, I just talk about the sector because you will go through one by one. I think until nightfall also cannot finish. Beauty, childcare, hygiene, IT services, training, engineering, F&B, fitness, high tech, healthcare, medical care. Some of our clients, especially this one, they are doing some research on detection of AIDS virus. Very interesting things that our clients doing. Very high tech. Virtual offices, sports training group. These are some of the checks we received from a client. 60,000. These are engineering companies. Actually, both the example is engineering company. But now we have more examples. It's just that we didn't have time to put up. Okay, what is the criteria? Again, many companies always think that they don't meet the criteria. The criteria is very stringent. Actually, if you understand, not really. So the criteria of the $60,000 payout is very simple. Any Singapore registered company, which means that it can be IBM Singapore. IBM, I mean, I never checked the aircraft before. I suppose it's not owned by Singapore. I don't think it's owned by Singaporean. It's probably owned by US lah. So IBM can get this grant if they want to. Of course, 60,000 means nothing to them lah. But then of course, Fuji Xerox, foreign company all can get this grant. And to answer your question, lately we have found that this any Singapore registered company, of course, which include sole proprietor though. And there was one time I asked the IRAS, some sole proprietor never register sole proprietor can. Like like just an example we give now, financial advisor. They are in a way sole proprietor, but they never register anything, correct? So they can get law. Then there are a lot of sole proprietors never register is what? Hawker's law lah. So they run Hawker's law, they run their own personal name. They
register what they have to licensing and all that.
Okay.
But the issue with sole proprietor is usually they don't have 3 CPF paying staff. It's as good as not get.
Yeah lah. So the key is to get 3 CPF paying staff.
That's
And
the problem to me.
okay, honestly, that criteria is not too hard to meet. So let me tell you why. Okay, 3 CPF paying staff. It can be part time, and it's only in the last month of the year.
Last month of the year.
Not the whole year.
Preceding month that you make the claim.
You can only make it at the end of every year or the end of every quarter. So every end of the year you have 3 staff, can be part time, or every end of the quarter you can have 3 staff, which you qualify. So the part time staff can be, I mean, what is your understanding of part time staff? Part time staff can be someone who in your office, sweep the floor for you, it's not part time lah. He's doing work, right? Let's say I have a stack of paper, I say I need to full stack this, or I need to scan this. Can you go there and scan for me? So you work for 1 hour, that's considered part time.
To qualify for the CPF must be some minimum wages, right?
The minimum, but the minimum amount you need to pay CPF is $50.
$50,
Then your CPF is about $8.
16%.
$8 Yeah, $8
Employer contribution, no employee contribution.
For $50, yes. $500 employee need to contribute. So
the part-timer can be say employed for just 1 month. Just 1 month.
okay, well, this is definitely part time. Part time can be 1 month. So I have a client. He is teaching swimming. So he has a lot of swimming instructor. So some instructor really just train for 1 hour only, because there are many freelance. So they train for 1 hour. So they pay CPF on that 1 person
1 hour.
Some are 1 hour lah, some are 2 lah, but it's not. It's like you look at CPF like few dollars kind of, few dollar or $50 kind of contribution is very little lah, but it's legitimate. It's legitimate. So yeah.
Businessmen like put the CPF on their spouse or their children.
You can employ your spouse.
So it's still okay lah.
Yeah, like I employ my spouse also. So at home I'm the boss, at here also I'm the boss. So
is there any minimum age you want to pay CPF for the children? 18, minimum 18 or 16 or?
I think 16 is the minimum.
I mean 16 a student can go and work full time also outside student after O level.
Correct. I think to open a CPF account you need to be at least 16 . Anything below that I think is against the law also . Maybe child labor or something like that. I think that one is against the law. That's why I don't think the law allows the person to have CPF account . I'm not so clear about the child labor part but I think that time I was told that 16 years old is the minimum age you can have a CPF account. Although I never confirmed that, but I think 16 years is the minimum age. Okay, so actually honestly it's not too difficult to have 3 staff lah. Honestly, even hawker don't have 3 staff. You bring the bowl of noodle to the person also. That's 1 staff already. Just pay CPF for them.
Husband and wife. But then sole proprietor cannot put their name inside there. Because
if you sole proprietor, you can pay your wife CPF.
So sole proprietor considered as 1 staff. But
himself no.
Yeah,
But
one out.
Yeah lah, but he surely the hawker never cook himself and bring the thing himself. Surely he had to employ even if his wife.
There are couple lah, two lah. So one only wife lah.
Yeah, they can employ a wife lah. Then the wife pay CPF and then she consider employee already mah. Then the one already.
So for insurance and property and financial industry, right, normally they are considered self-employed, right? So the only way they can get is part-time, but then sometimes the agency is not so large. So another way is to the spouse, right, and the kids. So
No lah, you can employ student to do paperwork for you. I think sometimes financial industry, we have some client that in financial industry also. They do have some admin clerk to handle their appointment, some paperwork, process some insurance paperwork, that kind of thing lor. I think they still have. Doesn't have to be the wife lah, but it can also be your wife lah.
yeah, but let's say they say if they contribute to the wife and the kids lah, so government suddenly say, hey, how come suddenly you pay your wife for so many months and then suddenly you just pay just for the last month that you want to pay?
I mean, of course, the best is that you pay every month lah. The best, if you can, you pay every month. But even if you don't pay every month, you just pay on the last month, then you just say that month may have a lot more work lah. Then you must know how to explain lah, you know what I mean? Correct lah. You must know how to explain lah. So, I mean, the whole point is that, you know, sometimes when I meet up with IRAS, sometimes they let me see their documents. Sometimes they are working on they are scribbling on the document. Then I see, then they go and check, you know, this guy. Then they write pencil. I say, the wife. They say, wow, you're going to check. I say, you're going to check with the wife or not? Then they say, then when I say that, how you take back the document? I say, wife can work for him, right? I say, yeah, can. I think they just want to know. It's not against the law to employ a wife, by the way.
Yeah, but do they prompt further, you know, to like?
No, if they ask you lah, whether they say whether this guy is your wife or this guy is this girl is your wife or this guy is your husband, then you just report the fact is lah, it is, but you the law never.
Yes lah.
Like I recently I had one client he opened a dental clinic, so he employed his son. And then of course later you will see there is a grant on training and training include degree. So he sent his son to degree course.
Under his company name.
Yeah lah. Then he claim for the degree course lah.
But not under PIC, right? It's
Under PIC.
okay. What's the difference between SDF, WDA and PIC claim?
Later I talk to you because that one after I tell you you will find very humorous
Because SDF is up to 90 or 95%, right?
Yeah, but SDF got its own limitation. The SDF usually the course are very formal one, you know.
But the
but the training under PIC can be very flexible, can be flower arrangement, you know.